The animal kingdom is unquestionably a diverse area with an estimated 7.77 million types of creatures on the Earth. Although the extent of the Earth's variety may be generally recognized, humans are frequently unaware of the amazing things that animals are capable of. These fascinating animal facts will astound even the most ardent animal fans, from animals you never knew kissed to those who prefer drinking. When a flamingo eats, its head must be turned upside down. Most people are unaware that because of the way they have evolved, flamingos must utilize the bristles on the top of their beaks to filter out the muck and water that are sucked in along with their actual meal. Flamingos are notorious for standing in shallow water on one leg. As a result, it must eat with its head turned upside down in order to effectively filter its food. If female ferrets do not mate after going into heat, they will perish. The hormone estrogen, which is produced in large quantities by a female ferret's body when she enters into heat, will continue to do so until she has mated. Aplastic anemia, which is brought on by having such high levels of estrogen for an extended period of time, will eventually develop as a result of the harm that the hormone's high levels do to the bone marrow and blood cells. The dolphin's brain only sleeps in halves at once. Dolphins are mammals, therefore even though they can hold their breath for a very long period and live in the sea, they occasionally need to surface for air. A dolphin's brain will never completely switch off because it needs to have enough muscular control to sometimes rise to the surface and breathe. Dolphins always have one eye open as they sleep. Blue whales weigh a tremendous amount. Although it may not seem weird at first, blue whales are significantly larger and heavier than most people realize or can imagine. The weight of one elephant is contained in the tongue alone of a blue whale, which weighs the equivalent of 3 to 4 elephants. Think about that for a moment. An elephant weighs the same as its tongue. The mind of a cockroach is inside its body. The cockroach, one of nature's most resilient creatures, can survive being beheaded because, unlike most animals, its brain is actually located outside of its body. A cockroach that has had its head severed will continue to function normally, move around, and carry on with its daily activities before starving to death because it is unable to eat. Frogs have a 360 degrees field of vision. A frog's eyes are designed and positioned such that they can always see everything around them, including what is behind them. Frogs sleep with both of their eyes open, which makes them even more difficult to sneak up on. A shrimp's head is where its heart is. Like prawns and lobster, shrimp is regarded as seafood. There are only two pieces to a shrimp, the head and the tail. Shrimp's thorax, which is immediately after the head, is where its heart is found. A single exoskeleton only completely covers the head and thorax. Therefore, it seems to be located inside of its head. It's possible to confuse the shrimp's thorax for its head. However, this does not imply that the brain of a shrimp is situated on its chest. Actually, it's right after the shrimp's eyes on the genuine head. Their organs being in their skull is much safer and more advantageous. That is due to the thick protective substances that coat the head, the cephalic region. Protecting their internal organ is far safer. Their heart has 3 pairs of heart entrances and is placed in their head. The heart receives blood through these openings. Numerous directions are covered by the arteries. A snail has a 3-year sleep cycle. Snails have always been monotonous, am I right? These little gastropods may be lethargic, goopy, and appear to be hopelessly lost, but what you don't realize is that they have quite peculiar sleeping habits. Since they don't appear to be doing anything, it seems strange to suppose that snails need to sleep. However, a University of Toronto investigation disproved the claims of people from all around the world. It turns out that snails spend 15 hours sleeping, falling asleep and waking up 7 times, followed by 30 hours of continuous activity. A snail's sleep and activity time is divided into 48 to 72 hours, as opposed to a human's 24-hour period. Because it is more humid and damp at night than it is during the day, snails are more active at that time. Humidity is necessary for snails to make the mucus that helps them to slide across surfaces. Koala fingerprints are so similar to human ones that they have occasionally caused confusion at crime scenes. Koalas are evolutionarily separate from humans, yet it makes reasonable that orangutans and chimpanzees, who are some of our closest cousins, would have fingerprints similar to ours. It turns out that convergent evolution, or the separate development of comparable traits in distinct species, is very well illustrated by fingerprints. The bone framework that supports the wings of both birds and bats is another illustration of convergent evolution. While koala bank robbers aren't precisely a concern for the police, it is feasible that koala fingerprints could be accidentally discovered at a crime scene and mistaken for human ones, making it very challenging to identify a match. The only animal that cannot jump is an elephant. Elephants cannot jump, despite what you may have seen in your Saturday morning cartoons, according to a Smithsonian film. They don't have to, for one clear reason. The main reason why most jumpy creatures do it, including your kangaroos, monkeys, and frogs, is to avoid predators. Elephants rely on their enormous size and supportive social groups as additional means to keep themselves safe. And it turns out that lifting a 4-ton mammal off the ground at once is difficult. In the elephant's situation, it is actually not conceivable. Elephant legs lack the spring needed to push off the ground because, unlike most animals, all of their bones point downward. In her lifetime, a cow produces around 200,000 cups of milk. The typical dairy cow yields 22.5 quarts, 60 pounds, per day, 1,500 gallons per year, and 18,750 gallons, or 200,000 glasses of milk, throughout the course of her lifetime. The typical dairy cow is milked 2 to 3 times each day for a total of 20 minutes. Given that the average dairy cow's udder can retain 25 to 50 pounds of milk, this is actually a relief for the animals. The dairy cow must become a mother before it can be milked. The cow makes milk because she is pregnant. The calf is born after a 9-month, full-term pregnancy. They are removed from their mothers to be bottle-fed after an hour when they are able to walk independently. A dairy cow is initially milked 12 hours after giving birth. Giraffes are voiceless animals. Although giraffes have a larynx, voice box, it's possible that their trachea, which is 13 feet, 4 meters, long, could not provide enough airflow to cause their vocal folds to vibrate and emit sounds. The reason no one heard giraffe communication, according to the researchers, was that the sound frequency was too low for humans to hear. Roosts are unable to fart. These creatures were originally supposed to create low methane, environmentally benign toots, making them an enigma in the animal realm. A new study on kangaroo crop dusting contends that this is untrue. Methane is a greenhouse gas that actively traps heat, causing global warming. It is naturally produced by gut bacteria in animals as they digest grasses and leaves. The low-methane-producing bacteria archaea that live in kangaroo stomachs, according to research conducted in the 1970s and 1980s, may explain why they don't produce as much of the gas. At the time, researchers believed there might be a method to give these bacteria to cows, which emit a lot of methane farts, in order to lower methane emissions globally. Adam Munn from the University of Wollongong in Australia stated in a news release that the hypothesis that kangaroos have unique gut microorganisms has been flying around for some time, and a great deal of research has gone into uncovering these allegedly unique germs. That was for today. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel.